And hello and welcome now to Friday night football from Steelers Stadium at Wollongong, where a big crowd has assembled for this grand final game, really, for Illawarra. They're 4 points out of the 5. They take on the top of the table Canterbury Bulldogs, and they've been in superb form. There's the Steelers going out onto the park now, and led by young John Cross, their captain. Riolo, Wishart, Rodwell, McGregor, McIndoe, Fritz, Simon, Waddell, Schifoletti, Walsh, Cross, Pinchinelli and Russell. No Bob Linder. Wins at their most recent outings against Parramatta and Cronulla. And a big rise for John Cross. He captained their 21s, and now he's come through to the captaincy of the first grade side. Ian Russell, a familiar and welcome face back in the top 13. These people on the South Coast, they love their rugby league. It's quite chilly. No clouds, though. The wind is not all that strong, but they've come out in their thousands. The last time we were here, they broke the previous ground record in the match against St George. It's not up to that proportion tonight, but it's still a decent-sized crowd here at the Illawarra Stadium, the Steelers Stadium. The Canterbury supporters haven't let their team down either. They're here with their banners. Dean Schifoletti back in the side for the Steelers as Canterbury now, led out by Terry Lamb. Has he ever been in better form? That's the question they're asking. No Jared McCracken for them tonight. Let's have a look at their side. We watched them last Sunday. They were white hot. Goodwin, Dallas, Connolly, Smith, Darren back in the centres. Doolan, Lamb, Polomounta, Brokenshire, Sedaris, Bella, Ralph Pay. He was great last Sunday, and Dimmick. Wishart kicks off. It goes straight to Terry Lamb. And Friday night football, it's underway again. Sit back and enjoy it with us. Big night of sport on 9. We'll take you to Lords after this. And let's hope that massacre continues there for the Aussies. Brokenshire taken. Big hit there by Schifoletti. Paul Vorton and Peter Sterling join him in the commentary box tonight.
And Ray, another one of the situations that we've seen throughout the year with the best attacking side in the competition up to date, up against the best defensive side. Canterbury, 270 points. They've been sensational with the ball in their hands. Illawarra, even though they've been through a couple of bad patches, have still conceded less than 10 points a game. So that's a good basis for them to go into this match.
Wishart comes away naturally disappointed at not being on the plane to New Zealand.
Well, I think it's absolutely criminal that he isn't in the side when you consider the Australians have gone to Kiwilang with no goal kicker in their side, and here he is, a great player and a champion goal kicker not in the side. Criminal.
Really made it difficult on the selectors too. His last two performances, Wishart, have been probably his best two of the year. Against Parramatta last week, he was dynamic. And Ian Russell playing the ball now. A significant starting lineup position for Ian Russell. I think we'll see him there for the rest of the season.
Simon's kick is brought back by Goodwin. A jolting tackle straightens him up and then puts him down. Darren Smith puts a little step into his work. There's the lowers for you. Canterbury an easy win in reserve grade. Illawarra likewise in President's Cup. Just this breeze favouring Canterbury in the first half. 12 metres from the halfway mark. Polomounta. Big kick. Off the 10-metre line. Returned by Riolo. Last year they met in round 11, these two sides. It was a very big win for Illawarra. 24 points to 8 here at the Steelers Stadium.
Ray, overall, they have a great record here. They've only played 21 times since coming into the competition, these two clubs. Illawarra have only won on 5 occasions, but each one of those has been at this ground.
Russell. 6-1, the away record for Canterbury this year. That's a very good record. 7 times away from home, they've won 6. But Illawarra can't boast the same. It's 3-3 for them. Dallas points against are very interesting. They're almost equal, but points scored for, Canterbury have scored nearly 100 points more than the Steelers. So it's pretty obvious that the Steelers are having trouble getting the ball across the opponent's line. Broken shot. Centre of the ground, 12 metres his side. Played back for Sidaris to give it to the second man play going the other way. It was Jim Dimmick. And wrestled into the ground by Russell and Cross. Terry Lamb driving it back to the 30-metre line for David Riolo. He returns the ball very well, Riolo. Darren Smith's defence so far tonight has been impeccable, though. McIndoe at acting half. Simon, McGregor, he's okay again. He's got some feeling back in that ankle. And Gary Connolly comes in to put him away.
Steve, I'm always keen to know early in the game what the talk is like down close to the sideline there between the two sides. Any more talk on one side than the other?
Yeah, you can easily see that the Illawarra side are revved up. They're talking to each other, but Canterbury a bit flat. They seem to be walking to a lot of plays.
Simon, Russell, back inside for Simon. And the penalty goes against Canterbury for being inside the 5. Inside the 10, I should say, these days. This was the incident. We take the high camera shot of it to pinpoint the fact that Canterbury were well in front of McCallum. And Rod Wishart will take a kick for goal right in front, 35 metres out. The breeze will be just against him as he puts this ball into the air.
Ray, just looking at the Steelers this year, as we have done on a few occasions, the matches, they remind me a little bit, we talk about players after they've had a rookie year and done well in their first year of first grade, the second year always being the difficult one. It's been a little bit like that for the Steelers. For mine, the expectations of them are much greater these days after making the top 3 last year, and probably they're looked at a little bit closer by the other sides they come up against and know more about the likes of Dale, Fritz, the two centres, so that the homework done against them is probably a little bit better.
Rod Wishart, 35, right in front, 54% strike rate, and it's straight between the uprights. Illawarra grabs first points. They lead Canterbury 2 points to 0 off the boot of Rod Wishart after 17. Pinchinelli for Russell. Russell for Riolo. Terry Lamb was beaten by the attack. 42 out from their own line.
Ian Russell starting to play a much more dominant role out there now. Here he goes up to the defence. Takes 3 tackles out, but each time he takes the ball forward, he's capable of passing the ball, and that puts the defence in 2 minds.
John Cross. 5 gone for the Steelers. Simon. And sending it down deep into Canterbury's area, Paul Doolan. Pursued by McIndoe and brought down jointly with McGregor, but they were inside the 10. Callum says, no way. You're in front of the kicker, stay outside the 10.
But isn't the rule, Ray? He's just got to run 10 metres, whether it be sideways, backwards. As soon as he runs 10, they're all onside. Now, where are they? He dead set runs 10 metres in.
No, the point is, Paul, though the only person that can put you onside is the kicker, you've originally got to be outside the 10. He is ruling that he was not originally outside the 10. I hope that's clear, but that's my understanding of it. Darren Smith.
I only played for 13 years. I don't know the rules, really.
You never chased any kicks in 13 years.
This is Martin Bell. It's an interesting one, but it is a rule that I checked with the referees people the other day.
Gee, aren't they putting some pressure on themselves, the Bulldogs, with these passes? I mean, there was nothing doing down that blind side. Illawarra had plenty of defence there. And that's a really poor pass to a man who wasn't in a better position than the man who passed the ball.
Well, it's exactly what we saw in the first 40 minutes against Newcastle last week, where the preoccupation with keeping the ball alive overrode the fact that they weren't passing to players who were in better positions.
Here's a set play from the scrum. Both centres went as decoys to the left. Riolo came to the right, but Canterbury had done their homework. Russell, short ball, Rodwell. Illawarra really straining to make a clean break on Canterbury. Waddell. They're not backward in taking it up, these Illawarra forwards, but here's Skiffaletti! Out and away from dummy half, Skiffaletti. Simon looking for a quick play the ball. Struck by Canterbury, 6 more. Waddell, 10 metres from the line. The Steelers come alive now. Simon, Cross. John Cross, still 10 metres from the line. Riola, Simon, Russell, Piccinelli, it comes loose. David Walsh. They've been forced back by the defence. They're losing ground with the ball. So good as the Canterbury defence. Not even McGregor can break them. Wishart's with it, but this will be a knock-on.
And they did well, Canterbury, to regroup there. I thought it was a wrong option taken by Luke Goodwin, as he can do in a game, kicking the ball from the play the ball to give the Steelers another set of 6. Canterbury side had scrambled particularly well. That pass forced there by McGregor to Wishart.
Also saw Dean Pay put on a shoulder charge there, and doing that 8 metres from your own line is very, very dicey.
Brett Dallas out into Raven dummy half, and look at the good yards he picked up, the kid. He caught the markers asleep. The touch judge is in. The touchies come in. The tackle on Brett Dallas.
Well, Steve Waddell and Rod Wishart were the players involved. Steve Waddell, he looks the more nervous of the two. He had something to say straight away. Good dummy half run there from Brett Dallas, and that's been an area where the Steelers have been better. Skiffolitti just made a big run up the middle, but they've made good ground from there all afternoon, all evening.
This is the incident. Got away from some very fragile defense. Wishart was the man. It wasn't Waddell. Let's have a look at it on another angle. And Wishart, dead set, went for the throat. So now the penalty or the tap through. Della works it up on 1. He's playing good this year, Bella, isn't he?
Well, he's playing consistent football, something he probably didn't do it, man. He put in the odd, very, very good game and some mediocre ones, but consistently he's probably been Canterbury's best forward this year.
Poloman, Lamb, Connolly runs the decoy, Smith does likewise, Goodwin comes in. Doolan. Poloman. Dean Clay, nice pass now. Dimmick was taken, and I'm sure John Cross got him around the face, but Dimmick actually fell into the tackle. Wishart and Viola some work to do, and that was a heady piece of work, I do believe, by Rod Wishart. He gambled and won.
Yeah, very smart play. We've seen it a couple of times in the last couple of weeks. Fullbacks and wingers taking the right option, knowing how important it is for the ball not to be touched, and giving the other side a net affection on that occasion. Forcing the scrum, they'll get the ball.
Good white Steelers.
McCallum should have given a penalty there.
Well, he saw them. The lock forward and second row jumped out quickly.
Exactly.
And McCallum saw that and just looked at them and said, no, you shouldn't do that, boys. Sure, why didn't you give the penalty?
I'm blown if I know, because Illawarra were back on their line. Watch it again. The ball is not out. Now it's out. Look at them. It should have been a penalty for the Steelers. David Walsh.
Even though the players didn't become involved in the play, what it did was close down the option that Rod Wishart had.
Well, for that matter, Peter, neither did McIndoe get involved in that incident we were talking about earlier, being inside the 10. He didn't get involved either. Simon sending it down. Luke Goodwin always seems to be underneath the kicks. Rodwell closes the gap together with Fritz. Doolan comes in from his wing, suggesting that it's time to take a bit of work away from the forwards. They have been toiling. Gary Connell. They're up towards halfway. Wishart really putting some aggression into his work tonight. Waddell over the top of Skiffolitti. Illawarra's got good value out of Steve Waddell. He was a permanent reserve grader at Penrith before he came here. Now, have we got troubles here? This is the last. McCallum has seen it. He doesn't want to know about it.
Jim Sadara's trying to get the mouth guard out of Brokenshire's mouth. He's waving him away, telling him he's okay. Good work there, good awareness from Sidaris. Prop forward will get to his feet and play the ball 45 out centre field.
Brokenshire not well. Lamb seizes the opportunity. Oh, he went within a boarding house scrape of butter with pulling it off. Just outside the 20-metre line. That was close.
And he's got a nice kick by Lamb. Plenty of Canterbury pressure. Riolo got the ordinary bounce. Now that McCallum has ruled in this situation, I think he's going to give the scrum feed to Canterbury. So it's ruled that what Riolo did there was a knock-on.
Double knock-on against the first side.
Brokenshire to the blood bin, I do believe. Darren Smith running strongly onto a short pass from Terry Lamb. They're 20 metres out from the line. Now Pollamount up. You can never relax against this team. They've got players that can attack you from all over the park, like Dimmick. Robert Ralph brought down 9 out from the line. Illawarra leads by 2-0. Sidaris, long ball for Terry Lamb. Martin Bella puts it down. John Cross comes away.
Did very well in defence there, David Riolo. They were a little bit skinny out there, the Steelers, but he came up into the front line just at the right time and took Martin Bella head on. There, you see him come up the line there. The big tackle high, forces the ball loose. Good work from the fullback.
McIndoe. 25 out from his own line. Steve Waddell. Oh, Robert Ralph went at him. And the two immovable objects went crashing. Ralph on his backside. Waddell came out on top. Simon tackled. The referee said, play on. Goodwin picked up and dumped on the ground. By Jove, they're dealing it out here.
That was John Simon again. He's come up with 3 pearlers, picking blokes up and driving them. Here he is following the kick. Luke Goodwin comes up with the ball. And eventually he just gets down low, good technique, and drives him.
Pollamount, just a short ball away for Jim Dimmick. The way he's tackling, I reckon some of these Canterbury players will be looking for where he is next.
Goodwin still down, getting attention as Brett Gallis beats his man, cleaned up by McGregor.
Luke Goodwin back on his feet now. Lamb, inside pass from Dean Pay. Pollamount is there to promote. Brought down right on the halfway mark. A groan from the crowd. They thought it was forward. I thought it was passable. This is the last. Lamb again punching it down to David Riolo to bring it back off his own line. Look at the Canterbury defence. There must have been 7 or 8 of them down there in one straight line.
Just put your hands up, don't you, if you're a fullback. Todd Wishart now takes down dummy half. A few of the Steelers take a little bit of time to get back now. Piccinelli still not back on side. So as we come into the last 10 minutes of this first half, danger times for both teams. A little bit of fatigue starting to set into both teams' defences.
Skivoletti, he was looking for a call. He didn't get a call either. You've got to feel sorry for the dummy half. When that happens, he's got his back to everything. He needs that familiar voice saying my ball or whatever. Waddell. John Simon wants it now. Bella goes through on a charge down mission, but Simon gets his kick in easily, and again young Goodwin is underneath it. Ooh, gee, Ian Russell that time. Jolting tackle on young Luke Goodwin. Steve Roach, they're really dealing it out here to each other, aren't they?
Yeah, they are at the moment, but the good thing for Illawarra is they've got McIndoe, McGregor, Rodwell and Wishart. They use themselves as forwards when they're caught on their own line. And coming from a forward, mate, it's a welcome relief.
Darren Smith coming in off his centre position often to take some of the heavy work away. Illawarra getting some replacements ready. Or maybe the singular applies. Bill Dunn it is in the headgear. He was one of their star players last year. Now Terry Lamb persists in the little kick. Riolo! Oh, he put his body on the line. That was tremendous stuff by David Riolo. Have a look at the kid trying to get up.
Yeah, his head hit the ground very hard there. Jason Smith got him while he was still in the air. He had no protection when he came down. It was a brave take, and bang, there you go.
Just watching Darren Smith, the brother of Jason. I think Jason was feeling a bit poorly about what had happened, and Darren went over, patted him on the back and said, good tackle. Riolo, well, you've got to be full of admiration for David Riolo. He never is frightened to put his body on the line, and that's exactly what he did there. He knew he was going to cop it. There was nowhere to hide. He doesn't need a hiding place, but he's paid a penalty here.
And, you know, when you're in the front line as a forward or a back, and you look back and your fullback's done something like that for you, a la a Graham Eadie or one of the Gary Jack, and now a David Riolo, you really get a good feeling. You know he's back there and he's been watching you do all the hard work up front, but he's also willing to take part in it.
No, that was a tremendous effort by him. He's back on his feet. It brings a roar from the crowd. He's one of their favourite sons. He's been here pretty much since the foundations were laid. John Cross plays it for Skiffeletti to give to Simon, and now for David Walsh. Both these sides desperate to break the other's defensive pattern. Neither of them really have made a clean break. I don't know. I'm just looking across at our statistician. You registered a clean break in the game.
Probably just the one from Skiffeletti, Ray. Remember when he went up the middle? One of the few ones of the night.
Goodwin looking for Paul Doolan to take it away. John Cross jolts the ball loose. So 25 metres out from the Canterbury line, Illawarra's loose head and feed.
And take your hat off there to John Simon, who put his players on side. That allowed him to come up with a tackle. 2-0, but a good chance for Illawarra.
Simon through for Russell, and now for McGregor, trying to pave his way through this defence. He's lost the ball. McCallum saw it. Well, that's a good piece of refereeing. I gave him Buckley's chance of seeing that.
Well, did Connolly play at that ball, or did it just come out with McGregor struggling?
Let's have a look at it. You asked the question.
The hand is in there from Connolly.
Oh, he's dead set out a tug at that, and I think it's come out.
And again, in a position where the referee wouldn't have been able to see that being on the far side. I would imagine, looked at the touch charge and must have got a shake of the head. Everything was okay.
Looking at it the way we just did, it could have easily been an Illawarra penalty for raking the ball out.
Well, those kind of plays change the course of the game, doesn't it? We've got under 10 minutes to go, or 5 minutes to go, and that was first tackle.
Dimmick looking and probing. Sedaris supporting. Big first half, Jim Sedaris. It's put in some quality work. This is Dean. Cut down by Prince. Dallas is there to support. And now they're 10 metres into Illawarra's territory. Dean Pay is injured in back play. Connolly pushes away from one. Jason Smith throws an ordinary pass. Rodwell comes up with the ball for Illawarra. Now it comes loose. McCallum says play on. Skiffeletti for John Cross. I do think he's taken the wrong option, John Cross.
Went the wrong way, had 3 men outside, and should have given the ball out.
Rodwell, McIndoe. 40 metres from the Canterbury line. When Fatty started to talk, I looked up and he'd changed colour. I thought he was sick. I just realised they put makeup on him for the half-time break. Makes a difference, Paul.
And looking better too, Rabbi.
Absolutely. Here's Russell. Russell gets away from Martin Bella. 30 metres out from the line. He's forced to play it. Now off the hand of Simon, backwards for Waddell. Down come the chasers. Pinchinelli puts it down. And McCallum will give the turnover to Canterbury. This was Pinchinelli up above Darren Smith. No doubt that the ruling was right from Greg McCallum. Steve Raggi and Russell back in the side. He gives Illawarra many new dimensions in the game.
Well, that's what he does. You know, the Illawarra side are a workman-type pack of forwards, but when he's in the side, he puts that bit of extra dimension on the fringe of the rucks.
Sedaris for Lamb. Short passing through Robert Relf out to Jim Dimmick. Inside chance for Lamb. Now Pinchinelli, he's wrapped up.
Oh, he was looking for McIndoe on the outside, but he's back on the inside. Here go the Steelers.
Russell chimes in. Dale Fritz, he promotes it for McGregor, and he's cut down by Connolly. Gee, their defence has been good. Darren Smith and Gary Connolly. Wishart, 30 metres out from the line. 2-0 in favour of the Steelers. David Walsh. We can't go through them. We can't go over them. So he's trying to run over the top of them. Waddell, Simon, cut out pass. Cross, looks for support. Simon does a juggling act. Forward pass. Riolo was a mile in front of him. Well, this should be a penalty to Canterbury.
It looks like he was offside, wasn't he, when he received the football? Some good interchange of passing here by the Steelers. John Simon heavily involved. He's in everything. Had a blinder. Held on to that one now. Riolo's 3 feet in front of him.
I don't know why they don't use that rule. The ball deliberately thrown forward. It's a penalty.
Illawarra, they've had the chances, haven't they? They've been camped in this 40-metre zone for the last 15, 20 minutes, and Canterbury's defence has been just too good.
Darren Smith. Green strong Darren Smith. I made the comment earlier about him and Gary Connolly. They've shut down some dangerous things in the centres. But Darren has put his shoulder behind the wheel and the forwards a few times in this first half. 5 metres from the halfway. 5 gone. Approaching half-time, and the ball going over the sideline just inside the Illawarra 20-metre point. Sunday we'll be at the cricket ground with the edited highlights at 6:30 in Sydney of South Balmain, a replay of the '69 Grand Final.
And don't forget the footy show from 12 o'clock out there on Sunday as well. We're live from the SCG, and it should be a good hour of entertainment out there.
The old-timers coming back to add their touches to Sunday's entertainment at the cricket ground. Frank Hyde, Len Colleen. I see they're bringing out Ward Pally Austin. Now there's a blast from the past.
I don't know him, Ray.
Well, he didn't play football. Pinchinelli. Ian Russell. Oh, he drops the ball coming out the other side.
He looked like he was away there, but Martin Bell had just hung on to him, and Russell dropped the pill right at the death. Another good opportunity. Bumped off Terry Lamb, and away he goes. And the ball goes astray.
No accountable reason, actually, for him to drop the ball. There's the siren. Only the 2 points scored in the first half. They were scored by Illawarra's Rod Wishart. Other than that, it's been a grind and some very heavy tackling. Illawarra 2, Canterbury 0.
Australia win the test and they take the series 2-0. Brilliant! Talk about drama! Oh, my goodness me! What are we seeing here? Got him!
You gotta love it.
Unleash the play in you. It's nerve or nothing.
Julio bought cheap car insurance with cheap accident repair. Don't risk bargain regret. Next time join the A-Team, hey Julio. Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does.
Hey! So you do like it? Okay. I love it, yeah. Yeah.
Now when you go pre-owned, you can enjoy the same feeling you get with a new Toyota. Tested and backed by Toyota.
Upgrade your car, mate. This? Yeah, no big deal.
Toyota certified. Pre-owned in a class of its own. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Please welcome Whitney Houston!
Whitney Houston. I Want to Dance with Somebody. In cinemas now.
Ash lost 50 kilos thanks to the Man Shake. Dave lost his beer belly without losing all the beers. And Josh dropped the kilos easy and feels better than ever thanks to the Man Shake. Save 25% off today at themanshake.com.au.
Get a read on this summer with 50% off for the first 12 weeks. Enjoy full digital access to your favourite news, plus weekend paper delivery. Call 1800 323 777 today.
Catch the KFC Big Bash League before it ends on February 4th. Feel it live. Tickets on sale now.
Onion color. Spooky. Hello? Velma Dinkley speaking.
Hello, Velma. Do you like solving mysteries?
Yeah, but I'm actually much more three-dimensional than that. Who is this?
That's the mystery. And solve it quick, because I'm in your house.
A serial killer calling from inside my house? Yes, that's a classic. Wait, you're inside my house?
Welcome back to the Steelers Stadium. Friday night football on the 9 network as usual. And Illawarra leading a real grind of a game here by 2 points to 0. Just that penalty goal kicked by Rod Wishart. There's the stats out of the game, Peter.
Yeah, it says, well, indicated on the scoreboard, very, very close. I don't think we've seen a more even set of statistics for all the games we've done this year. Quite a few missed tackles for both teams, 16 for the Bulldogs, 12 for the Steelers. That just shows how well they cover up missed tackles, because we haven't seen many long-range breaks, quite a few handling errors. Must give a rap to both Darren Smith, in the back line for Canterbury. He's come up with 20 tackles, and John Cross, 29 tackles in the back row for Illawarra, both outstanding efforts.
Steve Roach, you've got a bit to get through down there. Firstly, can you tell us about Mark Brokenshire?
Yeah, Mark Brokenshire, they're saying in the Canterbury room he's complaining about the third man into the tackle. So he seems to think that he might have got, it was Wardell there, you could see coming over the top. They seem to think that he might got a thumb in the left eye. He's got bleeding behind his eye and he's been taken to hospital. So we won't be seeing any more of Mark Brokenshire. I hope he's all right. Chris Anderson's pretty happy with his side's defence in the first half. He'd say that there's too much walking from his side. He'd like to see them move a bit quicker and scramble a bit better. And he's saying that their mind's not on the job. They're not as hungry as last week, so pick that up in the second half.
Okay, thank you, Steve, for that report. Mark Brokenshire, did I hear right, has gone off to hospital for some examinations to be carried out immediately.
Yes, he has, Ray.
That's being out from Waddell looked a bit dusty, didn't it? That obviously caused the drama there, and might hear more of that.
John Cross. 29 tackles in the first half for the stand-in Illawarra captain tonight, John Cross. That's a big effort. That's a huge effort in 40 minutes of football.
Sometimes when you see that much defence being done by a player, Ray, you don't see them in attack. There's a charge down here from Jason Smith, and he did the right thing by diving on the ball and cleaning up. Canterbury on a roll.
Terry Lamb looking for Robert Relf, who's in support. He finds Polamauna. Russell went for a high shot. It backfired. Pincinelli has to make the tackle. A chance here for Canterbury. Away for Jim Dimmock. Dimmock wrestled to the ground by Schifoletti.
Yeah, they were a mile offside. Should nearly have put someone in the sin bin. He's pointing to Fritz. Made no effort at all to get back on side.
Dale Fritz on his walk down to Greg McCallum, and he says to John Cross, if he doesn't make an effort to get back on side, I'll put him in the bin. Canterbury gets the shot for goal that they've been waiting for.
Well, let's just have a look. There's Fritz there. Didn't come into the tackle, but he was the outside man, and that meant that Canterbury had no chance of throwing the ball out there where they should have created some space by the speed of the play of the ball.
Luke Goodwin to take the shot for goal. 71% success rate for Luke. He's had 17 kicks this year in the top grade for 12 successes. So he's been striking it quite nicely. Illawarra on 12 points on the Winfield Cup ladder. That makes them 4 points away from the top 5. In fact, that top 5 has broken away from the pack, Paul. That's dangerous.
It has, and some of those sides, such as Eastern Suburbs, a big test for them, this weekend against St George, and those sort of sides, a couple more losses, and they're gone for 93.
Goodwin, 20 out, 10 in. He's got it. Oh, incredible kick. It looked like a Paul Vorton 9-iron that went wrong.
Oh, was that the worst kick you've ever seen in your life? And it snuck over. Doesn't matter how they get there.
Or a Paul Vorton 9-iron that went right, actually, Ray.
Oh, don't be cruel.
Up at Riverside Oaks.
Don't be cruel. Goodwin shaking his head and saying, well, somebody's on my side. Darren Smith. Connolly's with him. Oh, gee, was Connolly tackled, not in possession? Yes, he was. Penalty Canterbury. Touch judge comes in. I think this will be simply to report what we've come to expect.
And Alan McIndoe, the culprit. The break looked like being made there. Got outside some defence and put a ball on. Darren Smith. Connolly looked like he's going to be in the clear. McIndoe comes in, holds him back.
That replacement for Canterbury in 22 is Ben Gillies. Really heavily strapped around the left thigh. He's taking the place of Dean Pay, and Martin Bella coming off to the blood bin.
What's the story from the sideline, Steve?
Yeah, some good and bad news from Dean Pay. I thought it was his right knee that he's done again. He's had a couple of operations, but he's got a cork shin. Martin Bella leaving the field right now with a bit of blood trickling down his left eye. I'm sure that he'll need a couple of stitches.
Barry Ward in 24, the replacement for Bella.
Ward on in 24, Ben Gillies on in 22. Dean Pay and Martin Bella out of the side. That's not going to help Canterbury. I don't know how long Bella's gone for, but Dean Pay, I don't think he'll be back. This is Ward. Tackle by Pincinelli, a good tackle too. Polomouta. Pincinelli again hanging on around the bootlaces. Terry Lamb from out to the right for Deming, inside ball, and this is Robert Relf. Jason Smith gave a neat pass in that exchange. Sedaris throws the dummy. Lamb goes up the centre. Can he offload? No. This is the last. Sedaris puts the kick across. Wishart read it. Gets away from the in goal. Oh, good play, Rod Wishart.
Yeah, great run, Rod Wishart, to get out of his own territory. He's run 30 metres to make 5, but there was desperation stakes for the Steelers. Here's a big run by Pincinelli.
Oh, great stuff. Great work from both Wishart and David Walsh, who came up with the tackle on Terry Lamb. That led to this next play, Wishart getting out from the in-goal area. End-to-end stuff now.
Let's not lose sight of the finesse either of Jim Sedaris. I know it didn't come off for him, but he's got all the skills, Sedaris. David Walsh bombarded by the defence.
One of the beauties of Jim Sedaris, Ray, is he carries the ball out in 2 hands. Good ball players do that. They don't tuck it under the arm and confine their options. They hold it out there and put the defence back on their heels.
Now Billy Dunn has gone on. David Walsh has come off for Illawarra. Canterbury with the numbers, though. They finished up with 4 on 2 as the lock and the half came to the blind side. Wishart is tackled 30 metres out from the Canterbury line. Ian Russell, long ball for Schiavelletti. Now Bill Dunn, but he didn't take the pass at speed. And he was an easy mark for Ben Gillies. Schiavelletti, a dummy half. Pincinelli takes it ahead. They batter it up, Illawarra. Little bit of one-out stuff from Illawarra. Waddell has to prop and wait for the support to arrive. McGregor was easy prey as a result. 5 gone for the Steelers, so they've done basically nothing. And I don't think that set of 6 would please Graham Murray. The bomb goes up. McIndoe takes it, gets it for Pincinelli, but he's pulled down 20 metres out from his line, or from the Canterbury line.
And again, Terry Lamb came up with a crucial tackle. Didn't allow Pincinelli to get the ball clear. Good work from McIndoe to offload. It was the last tackle. Terry Lamb, always there, snuffed out that attack. Forced passes here. Gillies did well to take it.
So a lot of the time, territory-wise, being spent by Canterbury in their half, in the second half. Ward. Dimmick. Good tackle by Ian Russell. He may have used his legs in the tackle, but providing the arms come in contact first, they are permissible. The legs I'm talking about in the tackle. Pollamouta. And this is the last. Ralph Lamb. Charge down, attempt by Pinchinelli. It gives Canterbury, I was going to say 6 more tackles, but the ball has gone forward from one Canterbury player to another.
Yeah, there was a Canterbury hand in there and the ball in the air from the charge down. And this will be a scrum now with Illawarra's feed. I think both sides in the last 5 or 10 minutes have lost their way with the football. They're a lot of mucking around, a lot of wasted rucks in their sets of 6.
Martin Bella with that left eye closed up now. The Illawarra bench has just been told by Graham Murray to stretch. It's common practice these days. Cross away for Pinchinelli. Got the pass away, but it goes to ground. Canterbury coming up with it on the halfway. Ralph. Just a couple of metres into Illawarra's area. 2 points all. And one gets the impression that the big hits and the speed of the first half is starting to take its toll in the second half. Dimmick. Lamb goes for the drop goal. It's well wide, the kick. I'm just wondering about the tackle on Lamb. It's been allowed to go. No interference from touch judges or referee.
Terry, Lamb obviously believes that the next point score is going to be important even with 20 minutes to go.
This was the kick and the tackle, and there's no doubt it was not late. John Cross.
He's had a great game, John Cross. I was going to say early on, we were talking about the defensive work he's done. He's gone through that, but he's still run the football up very effectively.
He's had a big game. I bumped into his grandmother before the match, and she was very proud that John was captaining the side for the first time. So old Granny Cross should be a happy lady tonight.
He puts it down. Connolly, he comes away for Canterbury. They're 20 metres out. He's got the winger on his outside, but he is wrapped up by the defence. 10 metres out from the line. Slow play the ball. Connolly is wounded. Away now for Jason Smith. He tries to step inside. He's 5 metres from the line, centre of the ground. Sidaris.
Yep, hand in the play, the ball. Penalty.
Penalty to Canterbury, right in front. Right in front. Presentation, 2 points. Let's have a look at this on the replay.
Just watch Simon's right hand. There it goes. That's really stupid play there by Simon. He's had a fine game in front of your sticks, 2-all. And with 15 or so minutes remaining, to give away the 2 points is ridiculous.
It's also silly, Paul, isn't it? If he'd have had a look left and right, he'd have seen that his defensive line had done a great job to get back and get themselves set. So it wasn't as though if the play the ball had been affected that it was a certain try.
Gary Connolly now joins the injured list, which is growing every minute of the game, Steve Roach.
Yeah, it's been a great battle out here, but the two times that Illawarra have had the ball 30 metres out from the Canterbury line, they've only played 15 metres each. I'd have thought if you're playing with blokes like Rodwell and McGregor, you'd try and get the football out to him, Sterlo.
Luke Goodwin now up and right in front. Oh, he's only just got it again. Well, I don't know what he's doing. The bench is laughing. They're accepting the 2 points. Canterbury lead by 4 points to 2.
Canterbury's defence has just been outstanding. You know, Illawarra really tried everything to bust their line, and still only the one break for them.
Well, I think they would have busted the line too, Paul, in that set of 6 before Luke Goodwin set up a long run by Jason Smith. If they'd have read Skiffaliti better out of dummy half, he went and he caught his own support players by surprise. If John Simon had been there 3 metres earlier, I reckon they score.
He needs more runners, Skiffaliti.
Darren Smith. What's the story on John Cross, Steve?
Yeah, the captain for the Illawarra side, John Cross, with a cork thigh. And Dean Skiffeletti has taken over the captaincy.
Well, it's not strange for Dean Skiffeletti to be the captain of this Illawarra side. He's only just recently lost the job, as a matter of fact. Dimmick offering it back for Jason Smith. Oh, good ball. Totally for Dallas. Oh, that was a pearler of the pass by Jason Smith. Played by Brett Dallas. Terry Lamb. Keeping the play down the Illawarra end of the park. That's his main concern now, the little general. We're in front. Now, you do what we tell you. That's very much the name of the game now.
And he won't mind finding touch more often than not either. They're in front on the scoreboard. And each time the ball goes out, it just winds the clock down that little bit more.
Plus, it gives you the chance to get that defensive line set, doesn't it? Big push by Canterbury, but the penalty's been given to Illawarra. We got them from the breaking before the ball had come out. That's that indication from McCallum. They were both probably guilty of it, though. It was a toss of the coin penalty, I suppose. David Walsh heading for the ground in one heck of a hurry. Tackled by Ben Gillies and Robert Ralph. Neil Pincinelli, he's tried hard tonight. There goes Skiffeletti. Half again. Pincinelli to dummy half.
He's hurt in that tackle, Skiffeletti. It was hooker on hooker. Sadara showed a little bit of concern once again. Skiffeletti stayed down as the fourth tackle made it right on halfway.
4 points to 2. The Bulldogs leading the Steelers. And nice work by Fritz and Craig Simon. Greg getting a pass round the back, and then John Simon. No, but he's ruled it forward.
Wow.
Well, I don't think it was.
No way. Looked okay, but we're right in line with that up here in the box. It looked fine here. That pass is okay. That one's okay.
Play on. As Skiffeletti carried from the field. That's a major blow. He's been close to Illawarra's best, and up the middle of the rucks there, he's been outstanding. John Cross with that cork thigh back into the action. So a real war of attrition out here tonight.
Darren Smith tackled right on the halfway mark. I gave you the crowd earlier. 13,074. As Illawarra battled for survival, this was the tackle on Dean Skiffeletti that took him out of the match. Terry Lamb. Polamatta. Dimmick. Jolting tackle. 2 at a time. Sedaris. David Walsh comes in to shut him down. Sedaris gets it away. Illawarra, they come away with the ball through Dale Fritz. Here's a chance for them. John Simon, Ian Russell holds it back. Rodwell puts it down. Well, there they go again.
Second tackle, just putting pressure on the men outside. Ian Russell really set up Rodwell to be taken in a hospital pass. He's trying to draw the defence, put him into a hole. And then Darren Smith coming across, great shot, ball goes loose.
They had Canterbury on their heels there. I don't suppose you can blame them for pushing the pass. Jason Smith tackled 31 metres out from the line. Gillies. Good player, isn't he, Jason Smith, to be on the bench.
Not coming up that quickly now, Illawarra in defence. Some room for Canterbury to move here, leading 4-2. The next point scored would just about wrap it up if it goes the Bulldogs' way.
Luke Goodwin gets out, tries to get the drop goal in. He's hit the upright with it. Walsh comes away 3 metres from the line.
Well, he's gone down a couple of clubs there. He's down to about a 6-iron.
And Luke Goodwin has been flirting with the crossbar, and now he takes it on again. Or was it the upright?
Well, it's hit both. It's gone off the upright onto the crossbar and back out. It's gone in and come back out.
It's almost got a magnetic effect on the ball every time it comes off the boot of Luke Goodwin. Craig Simon serving it up for Billy Dunn. John Simon. Robert Ralph with the charge down pressure. Paul Doolan will take it away from his own 20-metre line. Now, Illawarra have got to hope that they can force a mistake down in this part of the ground. Dallas carving his way through like a hot knife. Very fast off the mark. Steve Roach.
The message has come from the bench to Luke Goodwin. They don't need 1 point. Try and control the football a bit better.
I don't know that it would have been said as politely as that either, Blocker.
No, I'm sure it wouldn't have been.
No, it wasn't.
Brett Dallas hurt on the far side of the field as Sedaris pushes off 2 or 3 defenders here. Last tackle now. They're getting tired, Illawarra. You can see their defence is not working that well.
Terry tries to place it judiciously. Riolo's made a mess of it. What's McCallum going to say? Not backwards. And David Riolo almost back to the 20-metre line. McGregor a dummy half. Fritz. Back and away for John Cross. Outside the 30-metre line now. Both sets of defence starting to tire. Russell, it's a better time in the match to have the football than be chasing it. David Walsh. Nearly to the halfway on 4 tackles. John Simon. John Simon! Oh, Darren Smith.
Super tackle by Smith.
Rodwell. Into the air on the last. Wishart's coming in from behind. Oh! Wishart went above the pack. McCallum orders the turnover. Wishart got high here.
Oh, didn't he? Frantic 6 minutes to go in this game. Wishart goes over the top, trying to latch onto the Rodwell bomb. Canterbury now trying to get some sanity back into proceedings. 28 metres out. Nothing fancy here. They'll just work it out. Ben Gilly set on the blind side, but it comes back to the open. They'll set Terry Lamb for a kick or Polymouter.
That surprises me. Dean Pay has gone back into the match. Robert Ralph is off. Dean Pay, we didn't think we'd see him again tonight, but he's back into the game. Jason Smith, who's played very well since they brought him on. Sedaris, a hand-off for Polymouter.
I think all the bench players have gone well tonight. Billy Dunn's had a big impact for Illawarra since he's been on.
Luke Goodwin. Way down into the in goal for Rod Wishart. Chancy pass out to Riolo. He runs away from Dean Pay. Now Riolo, right up the centre of the park. Oh, he had Wishart outside him.
Oh, big run, big run. No Canterbury defence here. They've got to spin it out wide.
Simon away for Russell.
And who came up with a key tackle again? Darren Smith. He's come up with 2 try-savers almost in the last 5 minutes.
Walsh. Billy Dunn had to go back and field the ball. It's taken the sting out of the attack. Still they're 8 metres on their own side of the halfway.
Oh, little knock on John Cross at dummy half. That might just be the ball game.
Crucial little mistake there. Wasn't the best play of the ball, had to reach for the football. And McCallum Eagle Eyes didn't miss it.
Canterbury with their turn to attack now. Terry Lamb. Terry quite happy to take the tackle. Darren Smith. He's been close enough to the man of the match, hasn't he?
He's very good, isn't he? No matter if you play him in the back row or in the back line. Jimmy Sedaris had an outstanding game. His support play's been sensational. Dale Fritz has had a big second half, hasn't he? Looked very dangerous. Great performers on both sides.
Dean Pay. I'm absolutely certain that he's doing it tough out there, but he's out there doing a job in an emergency situation. This is Ward. 5 tackles gone for Canterbury. Lamb will put it up. David Riola's coming up again. Oh, Gary Connolly beat him to the punch. The ball comes out the back and the referee rules the turnover. In other words, he's saying that Illawarra didn't come in contact with the ball and Canterbury used up their 6 tackles.
Well, Connolly actually tries to throw the football, knowing that it's the last. There he is, trying to get it out. And the changeover occurs. 80 metres for Illawarra to travel if they're going to win this game, and they've only got 3 minutes to do it. It's a tough task.
24 out there for Illawarra.
It's David Watson in 24. It's McGregor hits the blind side. He's got support. Doesn't use it.
Cross. John Simon. Dallas, he's playing injured at the moment, young Dallas. The ball goes in touch in goal, so it's a 22-place kick. And that's really not what Illawarra were looking for. Luke Goodwin watches it like a hawk, sir. See that? The old touch, he says, I agree, son.
Chris Anderson taking no chances here. He's put another fresh player out there in Andy Patmore. Number 16, Ward has come off. They'll just wind the clock down now, Canterbury. No quick play the balls. Not much slower than that one from Darren Smith. If they're forced to, they'll get a big kick in at the end of it. John Cross will go through and try and get a charge down.
Dean play. 4 points to 2. 2 goals for Luke Goodwin. 2 that he'll never forget. And of course, the other penalty for Rod Wishart.
Not how John Simon's going to feel for giving away that penalty right in front of his sticks. Gave away the 2 points that gave Canterbury the lead.
It's Andy Patmore that's down injured. McCallum moving the point of the play, the ball. And this is Paul Dooley. See things like that in rugby league, automatically you think of the Balmain South Grand Final of '69, which is to be reenacted, if you like, on Sunday at the Sydney Cricket Ground for you, and you'll see it Sunday night. Rod Wishart and the Footy Show will come to you live from the Sydney Cricket Ground on Sunday. Blocker, Paddy, Sterlo, the Moose, they'll all be there, sitting up there, out on the pitch with the Footy Show. Piginelli sweeping it across the back of the ruck. Craig Simon finds Rod Wishart, but he's smothered away in the defence. Simon, Watson, Russell, Riolo, Rodwell straining to unload, but he couldn't.
Just about got to run this one now for last tackle. Steve Waddell, that little chip. Darren Smith will clean it up. That's the ball game.
Darren Smith, he'll have to wait for the tackle. He doesn't want to volunteer it. And there it is, full time, no tries. It was always going to be never say die for Illawarra. That's the way they played it. But they weren't good enough to beat Canterbury, who's fast becoming one of the favoured sides to take out the 1993 title. The Bulldogs, they win by 4 points to 2. That's the 8th time they've travelled away from Bell. Time they've won.